Get ready for quick, easy, and affordable DIY holiday decor that'll give your home that warm, comforting feeling this Christmas season. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka, and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today I have 3 quick and easy Christmas DIYs for you. And I was trying to think of what was the theme of my Christmas decor this holiday season, and I've been making a little bit of boho, a little bit of rustic, a little bit of farmhouse, and I decided that my theme this year is quick and easy. You can't beat that. I'm having such a blast coming up with very easy, very affordable DIYs to decorate my home with, and I really hope you guys enjoy them. Today's lean a little more into the farmhouse, which is a look that I really do enjoy, so I hope you guys like them. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Everyone hit that notification bell so you'll know when my next video comes out. And when the video is over, head down to the comments and let me know which DIY was your favorite, or as always, you can just say hi. I'm also really excited because today's video is a collaboration with Yelena over at Blondie Next Door. Now, I love Yelena's videos. Number one, I love her aesthetic. Her DIYs are always affordable, which I love, and easy to do and beautiful. And she's just really calming to listen to. So if you've ever enjoyed one of my videos, be sure to head over to Blondie Next Door. As soon as my video is done, give her some love, let her know that I sent you, and hopefully you'll enjoy her and subscribe to her channel. Okay guys, it's time to craft. So our first project is going to be using one of these Dollar Tree large wooden plaques in the shape of an ornament. I love using the color plaster. You can also use white. That would give it a really farmhouse feel as well if you like that monochromatic look. But I'm going to go ahead and paint this entire thing with my plaster colored chalk paint, making sure to get nice even coverage because half of this is going to be covered up by another color of paint and then the other half will be showing. So I want it to look nice and even. Next, I'm going to take my painter's tape, and I decided to do like a little asymmetrical diagonal type of a line. If you like your things a little more straight, you can go ahead and just find your halfway mark and put your painter's tape right on there. Now I'm going to use some of this antiquing wax, and this is a technique that you guys have seen me use before, but I'm going to make nice long horizontal strokes, and I'm going to use it to make a faux wood effect. So over this white or plaster colored chalk paint, whenever I do this, it's going to look like wood when it dries. So I'm going to take nice long strokes, and wherever I change directions, you'll see a little bit of the paint build up there, and I'm going to use that to my advantage and make it look like little knots in the wood. Once I've got my wood look painted on, I'm going to go ahead and take the painter's tape off, and you should have a nice straight clean line right across your ornament plaque. Next, I wanted to put a word onto my plaque, so I printed out this word joy. I just used the word processor on my computer, made it the size I wanted it to be, and printed it out onto printer paper. Next, in order to get this on to my plaque, I'm going to use the pencil transfer technique. Now, this is an old school way that anyone can get words onto their projects that look really nice. Honestly, it is much quicker and easier to use a vinyl cutter if you have one. So if you have a Cricut or something like that, you can just go ahead and cut it out and put your vinyl on. But I like to show you guys ways that you can make beautiful projects even if you don't have a vinyl cutter. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to turn my paper over, and I'm going to color over the whole thing with a pencil. You can also use chalk if you'd like to. That will work as well. Once I have my word covered with the pencil, I'm going to flip it over and tape it using painter's tape onto my project. Next, I'm going to take a ballpoint pen, or you could use the pencil that you were using, as long as you are able to get kind of an indentation around as you trace your word onto your project. Now, as you can see here, I'm just tracing the font, and when I take it off, I have a nice little pattern that I can follow with paint in order to get the word onto my project, looking much nicer than if I tried to freehand it. Now, usually I try to use a paint pen when I do this method because I find I just have better control and my lines look a bit better. But this red paint pen just wasn't giving me that pop of red that I wanted. So I went back and I used an angled brush so that I could get nice straight lines, and I used red chalk paint to paint the word onto my plaque. Now, because I had these lines to follow, it still came out looking really, really great, even though my paint pen was not doing the job that I wanted it to. And once that was dry, all I needed to do was add just a little bit of decoration. I've really been loving these picks that I got from Walmart this Christmas season. I think they look gorgeous, so I wanted to add that on. But first, I just used a little bit of twine, popped it right back through the hole that was already in there to make a loop so that I could hang this on a door or on the wall. And then I also added a little bit of twine around the bottom of my pick. These actually come with a little metal clip at the end, and I just ended up removing that because I've been using these all around my house, and I didn't need the metal clip, but I thought that putting just a little bit of twine would make it look really nice and give it that kind of rustic farmhouse feel. Then I just glued my entire pick onto the side of my plaque, and I decided to give the entire thing another wrap around the top of the ornament with my twine. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know how much I love twine. Any opportunity I get to use it, I'll throw it on a project. I just love the look of it. But I thought this brought the whole thing together really well, and I love how this came out, you guys. The colors really pop. It's rustic, but it's still got that farmhouse look. I think it looks so elegant, and I would actually feel comfortable giving this one away as a gift to anyone this holiday season. Next, I wanted to use this tray that I got from Dollar Tree. I got it over the Thanksgiving season and did not end up using it, so I'm going to repurpose it for a holiday project. They have similar ones out right now that have Christmassy decorations on them, so you can find that or any platter that you like the shape of. I'm going to go ahead and color it in that same plaster colored chalk paint, and this took me about 2 to 3 coats to get nice even coverage. Next, I'm going to take this box of wall clings that I got from Walmart, and I actually love the look of this, and it was so affordable. Now, this thing is really big and it won't actually fit on my tray, so I'm going to go out and cut out the portions that I want. In this case, I'm going to use the Santa sticker and just some of those little stars and dots, and I'm going to put those on my tray, which means I have an entire another pattern that I can use that says Merry Christmas on another project, or I could put it on my wall or anything like that. Now, I have seen people complain sometimes that these leave color behind on their walls, so I've been hesitant to use it for that purpose, but for a project like this, it is perfect. I really loved the kind of vintage look of this, so I decided to put it on this platter and then give it kind of an aged vintage look. So I'm just placing my stickers right onto my tray, and then I'm going to use my finger just to smooth out any air bubbles, and also where it was folded over in the package, I could see that there was a little bit of a crease, so I was able to just smooth that out as well with my finger. Now, this actually turned out to be a little bit too big for my platter, so I just trimmed off one of the reindeer, and then it fit perfectly onto my tray. Of course, if you're using a different tray, then you can fit a different amount on it, or they did have some other options for patterns of stickers at Walmart, so be sure you go and check them out, because for this price, less than $3, you really can't beat it. Next, I'm just going to add some of these little retro stars and dots right back onto my tray. making sure to press out any of the air bubbles as well. So now I wanted to give it kind of an enameled look. So you can either use chalk paint, or once again, I'm pulling out my trusty paint pens, and this time it worked a little bit better for me. I really do like using a paint pen for projects like this because it gives me a little bit more control. So I'm going to go around all the edges to give it that enamel look, and then I'm also going to go in the middle and place some little dots where the enamel has been scratched off, as well as all around the edges. I'm going to come in just here and there to make it kind of look like that chipped enamel look. I love the old vintage flair that this piece has, but I did notice that you can tell where the sticker was that it's a little more matte on the chalk paint and a little more glossy where the sticker is. So I'm going to go over the entire thing with this matte Mod Podge. This is also going to help to ensure my stickers don't come up off of my tray, and I'm just going to give it a nice even coating. If you want to use glossy, you can do that. Now this tray is not food safe to put food directly on it, but has a beautiful little serving platter to do in a vignette or even hanging it on the wall. I think it's adorable, and I love how easy and affordable it was to put together. DIY number 3 is another quick, easy, and affordable one. I'm going to start out by using this Believe plaque that I got from Dollar General for $2 and this tobacco basket that I got from the Target Playground for $3. Now, I got the basket a while ago, but keep checking back. I did notice that they do come back every now and again. I'm going to use that same plaster chalk paint to paint my plaque, because I just felt it looked a little bit nicer than that faux wood finish that they had on there, and I just enjoyed the look of it. Next, I'm going to come back through. I did notice that there were some kind of raw edges where the wood was cut and it wasn't quite even, and I also just wanted to rough it up and give it that aged and weathered look a little bit. So you can use sandpaper. I couldn't find mine, so I'm using an emery board, whatever gets the job done. I'm going to pull out a few more of these picks. These are more of the ones that I got from Walmart. As I mentioned before, they do come with these little clips on the end, so I'm just going to take those off, and once again, I'm just going to cover the edges with some twine to give it a more rustic and finished look. Now in this particular DIY, you're not even really going to see the ends of this, but I like to just give it that little extra just in case you can see it, and especially if you want to give this away as a gift, it's those little touches that make it just really nice to give to someone. So once I have those covered up, I'm just going to take my Tabasco basket, and now that my word has dried, I'm going to just set it right inside the bottom of the basket. Now I'm just going to pop these little picks right behind. At first I was thinking I would need to glue them in there, but it turns out that I don't even really need to. They stay on their own, which I love because that means I can switch these out very easily for another holiday. So all I did was give a little bit of hot glue to the bottom of my Believe plaque just to hold it into the bottom of my Tabasco basket, because I think I'm going to have it standing up like on a table. So if it gets bumped, I don't want the entire thing to fall out, but just the few dabs that I gave it will be really easy to pop it out and put another word like maybe family or gather or something like that once the holidays are over. And that's it. I love how this looks. It's so simple, so easy, but so beautiful in the space. Okay, I've got to say that my favorite out of those 3 is that tobacco basket. I love that I can just take the plaque out and switch it out for another word, and it can go all year long. I've got ones that say thankful. I'm sure that I can find some that say hello spring, and it's just going to be fun to switch out the florals, and I just love how quick and easy it was, but also how beautiful it came out. But make sure to head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. So for today's treat, I have one of my favorite parts of the holidays, which is the hot cocoa. So this is a little twist on that. It's hot cocoa in treat form, and you can't beat that. I mean, chocolate in any form, I'm there. So I really hope you guys like it. All right, guys, it's time to eat. This DIY treat is going to start out with a base of brownies. You could totally make some from scratch if you want to, but I'm not fancy, so I'm going to use the box stuff. I did put it by these holiday lights to make it look a little fancier, so you could do that too in your kitchen if it makes you feel better. I'm going to make a mini muffin tin full of these brownies, and while those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut some marshmallows in half. Now, one trick to make this a little bit easier is to put a little bit of non-stick spray on some kitchen scissors, and that will cut right through the marshmallows without the sticky mess that I'm sure you will find without using that little hack. So you're going to break your brownies until they're about a minute or two away from what you think might be done. So if you like them really fudgy, take them out maybe 2 or 3 minutes early. We're going to pop these little half marshmallows right on top, and then we're going to put them back in the oven for another 2 to 3 minutes, just long enough to get those marshmallows to melt just a little bit. After my marshmallows had melted, I let the brownies set just long enough for me to be able to handle them and pop them out of the tray. Now, if you want to heat yours back up after this is done to get your marshmallows melty again, you can totally do that for when you're ready to eat them. Now I'm going to make a little bit of cocoa frosting to put on top. So I'm going to add some powdered sugar, some powdered cocoa, and I'm going to blend those together just with a whisk to make sure it's nice and evenly distributed. Next, I'm going to add some melted butter, some warm water, a little vanilla extract, and I'm going to go ahead and mix that together until it's nice and fudgy. Now, if this is not going to drip the way you want it to on top of your hot cocoa brownies, you can just pop it back into the oven for another 10 seconds, which is what I did. And as you can see, now it's nice and gooey. It drips over the edge, and this, you guys, is so good. I'm going to top it off with some holiday sprinkles, but this is like a cup of hot cocoa in brownie form, and who can resist that? I love how these look on a tray, just a whole bunch of them out for Christmas, or right next to my favorite mug of hot cocoa. I really hope you enjoyed the DIYs I had for you today. Be sure to head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. Also, don't forget to go check out Yelena from Blondie Next Door. I'll be sure to leave a link to her video down in the description box below. Thank you so much for stopping by. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.